Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. I think that's a new tornado warning. Okay, I think that's a continuation of a tornado warning. Didn't even get through the intro, just like the good old days, right? Let's see what we have here in the chat. We have V, we also have Proxy, we have Haley, we have Jake, we have Kaylee, Grumpy Grandpa, and everyone else who's in the chat who may have forgotten to chat, or if you are chatting, I haven't welcomed you. Welcome to the stream. All right, let's go ahead and dive right on into this. This is probably going to be pretty extended coverage based off of what I've seen on the models here. So this is our first real severe weather coverage that we have done probably in 3-4 months. So I expect to be live for a few hours here. And yeah, hopefully we can help inform you guys about the severe weather threat, give some early heads up, and hopefully, fingers crossed, watch an underperforming risk together. Right now, we seem to be performing close to as expected, and maybe a little bit of an underperformance so far on the southern side here of the risk area. Sorry, I thought that was a tornado warning in Oklahoma. That's a fire warning. See, that's the problem with having these things too close. That's a fire warning out in just north of Tulsa. So, yeah, I might need to change that pink flash to, like, I don't know, white. But it looks like both of these tornado warnings are attempting pretty well to drop a tornado now. And I think this one in Rose Hill could drop at any given moment. So if you're in either one of these tornado warnings, make sure you are in your safe spot. I'm going to go ahead and get up my chasers. Of course, I'm not going to be able to show you guys them, but yeah, if you want to just go watch some chasers on YouTube as well while having the coverage in the background, that is perfectly fine, of course. I would recommend doing that. That can really help kind of visualize what is happening with these storms. Alrighty, let me just make sure everything's good. Make sure I'm not going to get lawsuited when I click on this live stream. Let's see here. So I doubt this is on the ground right now. We're about to find out right when I click on this live stream. All right, I do not see anything on the ground right now, but I know that this has had a long trapped wall cloud with it. So we are looking at the likelihood of a tornado dropping down within the next couple of minutes or so across both of these tornado warnings, especially that more southern one. Hey, look, it's Martinsville, Illinois. Man, there's so many Martinsvilles. We got Martinsville, Illinois. We got Martinsville. Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. Martinsville, Indiana is somewhere in here. I'm blind. We have a Martinsville, Indiana, just south of Indianapolis somewhere. I can't find it. And then I live in Martinsville, Virginia. There's so many Martinsvilles. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to keep an eye out here. Obviously, we have our main cluster of storms as we were expecting. We have that prefrontal stuff that we were keeping an eye on in the earlier live stream. And these haven't really matured very well, thankfully. So that's awesome. That's really, really good news. And then we also have the prefrontal stuff back out here in Kentucky going into West Virginia. Those are also what we expected as well. Thankfully, we didn't see much in Kentucky outside of those prefrontal storms in eastern Kentucky now. We really didn't see much from those earlier storms. We had a little bit of hail, a little bit of winds, and I think we had like a wall cloud on the border of Indiana and Kentucky, but it was nothing too significant like what the HRRR was portraying. So that's absolutely awesome right there. Hopefully everyone is good. Hopefully everyone is all fine from the hailstorm and damaging winds over there. But I don't think we saw much there. Apologies, my voice decides to be weird right now. I got to get back in that groove of trying to control my breathing while I speed run talk like I did last year. Because, last year I had hundreds of hours to perfect that. This year, this is the first coverage live stream. So I got to take it a little easy. Oh, yeah, we also got an extension to that tornado watch. Remember earlier, I was talking about how that tornado watch was a lot smaller than I thought. A lot smaller than I was expecting. They extended that 2 times already. So they extended it way further north into east central Illinois and then considerably further north into central Indiana. So I think like near 10 counties or so, maybe even a little more than that, have been expanded into this tornado watch. Which looks a lot more realistic. I agree a lot more with that expansion of the tornado watch. Earlier, the tornado watch was just too small. Let's see. Oh. Hold on. Do that. Do that. There we go. So we just got a new tornado warning there in east central Illinois. So that's an expansion of our main supercell that has been ongoing for almost the last hour or so, being a tornadic supercell, pushing up to the east northeast.
Tornado warning for northwestern Crawford County in east central Illinois, northeastern Jasper County in southeastern Illinois, southwestern Clark County in east central Illinois, southeastern Cumberland County in east central Illinois, Clark, Crawford, Cumberland, and Jasper County in Illinois.
So that is the expansion of this tornado warning right here, as you can see, just got issued. So there's your new tornado warning right there. So that just got issued out into Yale in east central Illinois. And the storm doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look terrible. I would not be shocked if that is very close to producing a tornado at any given minute. And then we also want to keep an eye on... Ooh. I don't know if that TVS is probably picking on some corruption there. So, yeah, we want to keep an eye on this, too. This is looking like a little prefrontal storm here. A little bit of a prefrontal storm ahead of our other cells over here. So we'll have to see as that moves up to the northeast if it does become tornadic. It's not very far out in front to where I think it will have a problem. I don't think it will have a problem trying to be tornadic. So watch that very closely. If you are downstream of this severe thunderstorm warning, if you are in Robinson, if you are in Trimble, back up here into Hudsonville, right on the border of Illinois and Indiana, I'm going to watch that one closely. Those prefrontal storms, especially northeast movers like this is moving well northeast. That could very much be a big issue downstream. So really want to keep an eye on that one. But right now we have an imminent tornado here. You could see a very classic supercell signature here. We could switch to ZDR, and that reveals our very strong looking ZDR arcing right in here. So this is a healthy supercell. It is indeed a healthy supercell. Now it doesn't have the best the best ZDR arcing. It's not like like it's gonna be producing a strong or violent tornado or something like that. But it's definitely good enough to where I think this is very, very much capable of producing a tornado shortly. And this further north one kind of just looks like it's merging with too much rain. So, of course, stay in your safe spot if you're in KC, Illinois, but I don't think that's as concerning as the one to the south for Yale in Illinois. And then also going to keep an eye on, again, this one down here for Stoy, going back up into Trimble and Hudsonville on the border of Illinois and Indiana. Switching on over to Kentucky, just to take a look at this. These are multiple storms here producing 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts and 1 to 1.25 inch hail. This is across western West Virginia into far eastern Kentucky. If you are in any of those severes, just stay away from doors and windows. You'll be perfectly fine. Tornado threat is extremely low with all of these storms in eastern Kentucky, as thankfully they are over-convecting one another. Right as I mentioned, this storm's starting to get a little bit too messy. You can start to see it looks like it's trying to get a bit more curvature to it. So definitely want to be in your safe spot if you are in KC, Illinois, and this might be trying to spark back up again. You can see how earlier it had that supercellular shape to it, some curvature to it, maybe even a little area of interest for rotation at the bottom. And then now if we go ahead and pull that forward, you could see how it did lose it for a while. You could still see some curvature, but not nearly as well defined at the bottom there. And then right now you could see it's starting to get a little bit more of that curvature back out, and you're starting to see a little bit more of that area of interest at the bottom of it, where a presumed hook echo would be if it can intensify. Another thing we want to keep a very close eye on is supercells firing along a dryline cold front right out here in southwestern Illinois. We'll need to monitor that very closely over the next few hours, possibly even till about 9-10 p.m. for the potential of tornadoes. And then we could also see additional supercells try to fire along the northern side of this dryline and cold front back up here. We also have our triple points starting up. A brief tornado and a few funnels will be possible with that. We'll continue to monitor all of those threats. Is that a new tornado warning or a disk extension? I think that is a disk extension. Yeah, that is a disk extension. So if you are in Greenup in Illinois, you are safe to come out of your safe spot now. Make sure they didn't confirm that. Still radar indicated across the board. Yeah, I'm getting worried for this one. Really starting to watch that one extremely closely now. Matter of fact, if you are in Robinson, if you are in Stoy, if you are up into Hudsonville, Riverton, and now this is getting into Indiana here, Sullivan, Grayville, go over your tornado preparedness plan. Flat Rock as well, even down here into Paxton, that's Flat Rock, Illinois, Paxton, Indiana. Go over that tornado preparedness plan, because I have a good feeling this is going to end up being an issue here as we cross the border of Indiana and Illinois. So keep a very, very close eye on this supercell. It's already got really good curvature to it. It's already got a well-defined hail core on the north side. It's already got that sharp curvature cutoff. It's already starting to develop a little bit of a hook echo. So it's got all the early signs for a tornado threat for this supercell to spark up in the next 15 minutes. So keep a very close eye on that one. I'm more interested in that one, honestly, than probably both of these tornado warnings right now. Since this one is completely semi-discrete, I'm most interested in this one, believe it or not. And this is not even torque possible yet. But gonna watch that one extremely closely. All right, let me go ahead and mute desktop audio and go back to this chaser here. Still looks like it's got a huge wall cloud on the leading edge of the range shaft, which is where your hook echo is. Your range shaft is going to be back in here behind your hook echo. Range shaft back in here, like on the west side of your hook echo, and then the wall cloud is going to be the leading portion of that hook echo. So it's not fully rain wrapped. I can clearly see a wall cloud out in front of the main range shaft. So it's still a very much, very much tornadic storm. Told you my voice is doing some funny things right now. So still very much tornadic. still very much tornadic. Without early tornado season is trying to start, I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma starts next month. We're really going to be starting from like east to west for tornado season, honestly. I think our main area to watch February, March, and even into April is really going to be the southern Midwest, all the way back down into northern Dixie Alley, just like how it was last year, maybe even much of Dixie Alley, actually. That's going to be the main area to watch. I give you a big circle. At least from what I have seen, it looks like this is going to be the hot spot for February, March, and even into April. And then once we get into late April, going into May and June, that's when it's going to shift towards more activity in the plains, but we're also still going to have activity here in the Midwest and into Dixie Alley. So honestly, it just looks like this entire area is just going to be active for tornado season. Really just that entire area. And I do think maybe even back up into, maybe sneaking into the central northern plains also could be active. Difference between active and above average, by the way. I really don't know about above average. I'm not really too comfortable on saying it will be an above average tornado season, to be honest with you. Yep. Look at that. That probably is going to have a weak wall cloud with it right now. See if we've got that well-defined ZDR. Not yet. You could see your ZDR arcing. See if that matches up with reflectivity. Oh, okay. So you actually do have pretty good ZDR arcing. Not the strongest arcing right in here. But towards that hail core and then towards the hook echo, you do have stronger ZDR arcing. Which, if you don't know what that is, basically that's like raindrops moving in different directions. So it can be an indication of wind shear being present with height. And it's also a good ordeal and a good, a good product to use to figure out like where the rain and where there's just crap vection or contamination at. So that's what ZDR is really used for. So figure out where that arcing is between the heaviest of rain, the lightest rain, and then no rain. And you can also use ZDR to confirm a tornado, because a tornado obviously is going to have both vertical and
tornado warning for
horizontal
southwestern Crawford County in east central Illinois. Crawford County in Illinois.
That's this one, right? Yep. Good job, National Weather Service. Not wasting a second on it. So there you go. I gave you an early heads up. I didn't think it would be this quick to try to produce a tornado, but there you go. Stoy, Flat Rock. You guys under that tornado warning now, and this will probably push even further up to the northeast. This storm should be able to be tornadic until it probably merges with this storm, and that will happen. I mean, if we just kind of take a guess, that would happen closer to western Indiana. So this thing should be able to be tornadic for much of this area in here, depending on exactly where it continues to the northeast. So again, if you are out here, Robinson, Trimble, Hudsonville, Illinois, gracious
tornado
day.
Warning for
where's that
central
one?
Clark County in east central Illinois. Clark County in Illinois.
Okay, that's an extension well into Martinsville now. So entire city of Martinsville in eastern Illinois now under that tornado warning, also including Marshall in east central Illinois. Look how far behind weather-wise is right now. Let's go ahead and see if I can fix that. There you go. Today's just starting. Today's just starting for the tornado threat. We didn't get much early activity like some models hinted towards in the early afternoon from like 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. We really didn't get anything sparking up early, so that was good. But now things are really starting to kick in gear here. Sorry, I'm taking a look at mesoanalysis and model runs real quick. So we're up to 5 tornado warnings right now. Actually, we just lost that one. 4 tornado warnings. 4 tornado warnings. That's what we are up to at the moment. I will go ahead and just switch to this scene now. That way you guys can see more of the radar, as well as, you know that there's a tornado warning active. I guess you could say the storm's looking a little bit more, not saying that, and just in case. Just in case, I don't know if that's a trap. Some of these comments can be traps. But yes, it does have more of a hook to it. No CC drops, no. Be very careful when you go more to the north. Especially when you get up to these tornado warnings, because CC is going to be very contaminated. The only CC I would trust is with this storm. I wouldn't trust any CC with these two, because they're too far from the radar. Man, can I just, like, teleport to right in here? Like, that would be awesome. Yeah, like, if I could just teleport to right in here, get a good view of those fields, look right into that probably pretty good-sized wall cloud, that would just be awesome. It's on the ground. That is on the ground now. That is our first confirmed tornado of the day. All right, now you got to take this extremely seriously, because you got a tornado heading your direction if you are in this tornado warning. So we now have a tornado on the ground here. We are going to flop out weather-wise here and zoom in. So tornado is on the ground right about County Highway 18, right at the intersection of County Highway 18. And let's see, this is not going to give me a road name, is it? County Road 7. County Road 7 and County Highway 18, right at that intersection. That's the general proximity of where we've got a tornado on the ground moving up to the northeast. So this is going to be heading towards 150 north. I feel like that's not a road name, but that's what it says. 150 north, which is also near County Road 530 east in east central Illinois. So that is that stuff I just called out is barely to the southwest of Hardinville in east central Illinois, well to the west of Flat Rock in east central Illinois, and it is heading towards New Hebron in east central Illinois. So again, this is a confirmed tornado. Spotters have confirmed a tornado is on the ground, generally in this area, moving up to the northeast. So please be in your safe spot. If we go and look at this, just double check. Weather spotters have confirmed a tornado moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. It has been confirmed 10 miles to the southwest of Robinson. So this is heading directly towards... Let's see, where is Robinson? Yeah, this is heading very close to Robinson. Not directly to Robinson, but it will be heading very close to Robinson, most likely. I heard a beep. What was the beep for? I don't know what the beep was for. I think that was for the cancellation of our tornado warning. Yes. Tornado warning has been allowed to expire just west of Casey in Illinois. And also continuation of our tornado warning for Yale in east central Illinois. So not impressive on velocity or correlation coefficient, but it doesn't surprise me that this is producing a tornado. So we'll continue to watch this area right in here. That's where our approximation of our tornado is. So it's generally right around County Road 530 east, just to the north, or rather just to the northwest of Port Jackson in east central Illinois. 3 tornado warnings active on 3 different storms now. If you're in any of the warned areas, make sure you are in your safe spot. And again, we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground northwest of Port Jackson, moving to the northeast towards Villas, as well as Hardinville, New Hebron, Flat Rock. You guys are all in that confirmed tornado warning, need to be seeking shelter immediately. There's a tornado heading your general direction. And then eventually we'll be going towards Duncanville, Richwoods, Gordon, Riverton, Murrom, and this is getting into Murrom. Yeah, that looks generally correct. And then this is getting into Indiana here. I want to try to keep reiterating that this is the border of Illinois and Indiana right here. So we are in Illinois. That's where our confirmed tornado is, down here. But it is going to be heading into the direction of, and in about an hour, it will be in Indiana. Let's look a little bit more north here. Still could easily get a tornado at any given minute out of this storm northwest of Dogwood, heading towards Annapolis in east central Illinois. Still just really a high precipitation mess over here over Martinsville in east central Illinois. Could get a spin up tornado on the southern side of that. It's hard to say how organized that is with how far we are from radar. And in these storms not organizing very well, hopefully we continue to see that. Southern remains the most surface-based. It has best chance for SIG tours. I agree. I think we really have to watch that very closely over the next hour. And obviously it already is producing a tornado, so... we'll have to watch to see if this comes together, because this could definitely end up trying to produce a stronger tornado. I don't know how I don't know what intensity the tornado is on the ground right now. Like, I don't have a visual of it, so I can't guesstimate it. So I'm... either way, a tornado is a tornado. Get to your safe spot. Either way, right? Either way, a tornado is a tornado. So you need to be in your safe spot. Just if it's a stronger tornado, it's an even more dire situation. So we want to keep a very close eye on that velocity, see if we end up getting any strengthening out of that. I mean, in this middle one too, this one hasn't looked bad really much at all. It's consistently stayed with a decent area of rotation. It's just not nearly as good as this. I would almost argue this is a classic supercell now. Draw that a little bit better. You could honestly argue this is a classic supercell because it's got all the main characteristics of a strong, severe supercell. Let me look at ZDR. That's what I wanted to do. Again, as you can tell, I love ZDR. It's a good way to figure out if you're dealing with like a long-tracked supercell or not. I mean, right now the ZDR doesn't look impressive, to be honest with you. Normally, when we're dealing with a well-organized, strong supercell, that entire area I've just circled is going to be mainly orange and red. And you can definitely see some grays in there, some blues in there. So it's not the most well-organized supercell, according to ZDR. That doesn't mean it can't organize further, though. So... again, tornado on the ground there. There's your tornado report, train spotter, Crawford, Illinois. So that's where we had a confirmed tornado touchdown. No idea if it is still on the ground. So because the update is still confirmed, we are going to assume it is still on the ground. And either way, whether it be on the ground or not, you still need to be in your safe spot because it is tornado warned. And in this case, again, it is likely still producing a tornado. Let's see how that looks. So we'll have to see if this can sustain itself or if this hook echo is going to occlude. Because if this sustains itself, we could be looking at a strong tornado shortly out of this. But if it occludes, it might take a little bit more time. Because you can see you've got a very, very well-defined inflow notch. So you've got really strong winds that are going into this hook echo. And then you've got a well-defined area of reflectivity behind that. And you've got your main hook echo right in there. So, I mean, and then you got your hail core back in here, albeit a very weak hail core right now because it is a miniature supercell. But that is a classic. That is a classic supercell. I don't see any clear CC. I don't see any CC going up with height, so I'm not confident in any of that being a debris signature. Look at this. Our entire southern area is pretty much empty from any type of storms. Pretty much empty from any type of storms there. We got a little rain shower well west of Lexington and a little north of Lexington, Kentucky, but pretty much rainless. And that's where we were expecting, really. I mean, if you take a look. Oh.
Tornado warning for northwestern Crawford County in east central Illinois, southeastern Clark County in east central Illinois, Clark and Crawford County in Illinois.
Yeah, so you could see your significant tornado risk. I mean, only a small portion of it actually has storms in it right now. And I don't know if we're going to get much more, to be honest with you, in that southern side of the risk. I really don't think we've got much more to come. Those earlier supercells were that was the main round, and they really just didn't mature very well. Yeah, you could see they kind of just fizzled out. These moved to the northeast. They matured, but then they fizzled out quickly. And then these formed, and they started to fizzle out. And a few have maintained. You could see this supercell came from one of those little prefrontals. So it was very evident that they were capable of maintaining intensity and increasing in intensity and producing tornadoes in the long term. But it seems like really only one or two of them have actually sustained. So it looks like we've got a strong tornado on the ground here. This is likely a large and dangerous tornado. So we definitely concern just went considerably higher. We have a likely strong to intense tornado on the ground as this is progressing up to the northeast. We'll go ahead and do our check here. Go to this. So we got reflectivity and a hook echo check. Velocity, about 110 mile per hour velocities, probably greater than that. Spectrum width, you've got a yellow ball. NROT, you've got a green area there. So really, for a strong tornado, you need yellow, but green is still a very good indication of a tornado. ZDR, not the clearest ZDR drop. Probability of debris, all that white is 100% chance in this area. We'll see what the next scan has, and see if that ZDR gets clear or if this is going to occlude or not. Because this is very close. It's very, very close to the main base of the supercell, which is literally right in here. So that hook doesn't have to go too far to the north to completely occlude and cut itself off. And if it does that, it loses its inflow, and you can't get winds in here to help sustain this tornado on the ground. We'll go back over to weather-wise. Again, strong tornado ongoing here. So this is right over just south of East 600 Avenue. And that is a particularly
tornado warning
situation.
For southeastern Crawford County in east central Illinois, Crawford County in Illinois.
So we now have an observed strong and extremely dangerous tornado. The National Weather Service has confirmed a strong and extremely dangerous situation for this storm. It is producing a strong to intense tornado. You are in a particularly dangerous situation. Seek shelter immediately. This is a life-threatening situation, and you must take action immediately to protect life and property. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Let me go back over to here. Yep, so there you go. That is in the purple area. We've got a PDS tornado warning. So, yep, this is exactly the area that I warned of. So, the warning I gave you almost 25 minutes ago, you are now inside a PDS tornado warning. I told you this storm looked very worrisome, just how it was a prefrontal and how it started. And sure enough, here we go with a PDS tornado warning. That is definitely a large tornado, confirmed by chasers there too. Let me go. Let's see here. It's still continuing with that big CC drop, so this is most likely debris being lofted in there. And you can see a lower ZDR value now, so this is indeed a strong to intense tornado ongoing. So please be in your safe spot if you are in any of the tornado warnings, but we've got a strong tornado confirmed on the ground here in this purple polygon. I'm waiting to get a radar update. I haven't had one in a little bit. Weather-wise, updated really quick. Hopefully we'll get an update in 7 seconds here so we can see that new CC drop or the continuation of the CC drop. Okay, there you go. Not as well defined on that one. You can see you've lost your circle of deep blue CC. You can see we had it here, a little bit less here. So that could be a sign of weakening. We'll see if velocity correlates here in 9 seconds with that CC drop. But either way, again, just make sure you are in your safe spot. If you're in any of the tornado warnings, especially this purple tornado warning, again, we have a confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado, and it is a life-threatening situation. And I do think this is weakening considerably, so hopefully it lifts within the next couple minutes. That velocity is broken apart. Let's see if... It seems like that hook... almost like occluded it into itself. Which is a pretty weird way for a tornado to die, but you could see how your hook almost went like up and back over into the main hook echo there. So it went kind of curled back and just destroyed itself there. We'll see what another scan looks like, see if it's still continuing with that weakening or not. But either way, again, this is still a PDS tornado warning, so you need to be in your safe spot. But we're hoping for the best here in the sense that this is lifting or maybe even already lifted. Two tornado warnings to the north. Both of them still look pretty well disorganized. Let's see. Give me just a moment here. So once again, if you are just now tuning in, we've just experienced our first PDS tornado warning of 2026. And fingers crossed, it is lifting now. Velocity has weakened considerably in the last 2 to 3 minutes. But unfortunately, there's already been a lot of debris being lofted by this. And speaking of debris, let's see how far up we can confirm that debris. Roughly 6,000, 6 to 6,500 feet up into the atmosphere.
Tornado warning for southwestern Sullivan County in southwestern Indiana, Sullivan County in Indiana.
So, same areas I called out 30 minutes ago, now under a tornado warning here. This is a little bit further to the south than we were originally thinking when I first called it out. So not quite into Graysville, thankfully, but unfortunately it is still down here over Murom, and it is heading in the direction of Sullivan in Indiana. So now a tornado warning in Indiana, and I think that is our first tornado warning in Indiana, if I'm not mistaken, unless I missed something about 3:30 when I wasn't looking at radar. I'm pretty sure this is our first tornado warning in Indiana today, and it is a confirmed tornado warning for over 5,000 people. All right, there we go. I'm just trying to make sure there's nothing I'm missing from chaser feeds here. I don't think this is on the ground anymore. It still could be a weak tornado on the ground, but I don't think our stronger tornado that warranted the PDS tornado warning is still ongoing. But we'll still watch it very, very closely. Still stay in your safe spot if you're in the warned areas, obviously. Just to hopefully give you some hope here. I think that it has weakened quite a bit. Unfortunately, though, it looks like it is about to reorganize. I hate to say that, but it looks like if you take the scan from about, give or take, 6 to 8 minutes ago, you could see how there wasn't a whole lot of curvature, right? You could still make out that indent of inflow, but it's not sharp. Go to the current scan, and oh boy, that is a whole lot sharper. So I would not be shocked if this is about to redevelop and drop a new tornado if it did lift. It would not shock me if this is about to develop another tornado. But the good news is, because that is such a sharp inflow and it's not as large as the last one, that hook echo can easily just go a little bit too far north and completely cut off that area of inflow for the storm. So hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully that hook echo goes up, cuts off that inflow. But either way, this is still an extremely dangerous supercell capable of producing a strong tornado. If not, it still could be producing a strong tornado. Again, we really don't know. Radar correlates to there likely not being a tornado on the ground. However, radar can lie, and it lies quite often. So, again, no matter what, you need to be in your safe spot. No matter what. Even if they put this back to a radar-indicated tornado warning instead of a PDS, you still need to be in your safe spot. No matter what tornado warning you are under, if you are under any type of tornado warning, you need to be in your safe spot. Let me see here. So it seems like a weak tornado is on the ground with this. So we still have a tornado on the ground, y'all. We still have a very weak tornado on the ground. So this is indeed still on the ground. It is not a strong tornado anymore. So hopefully that PDS tornado warning is dropped here. 39 minutes till that is completely expired. So they'll probably drop that before that expires, because 39 minutes for a PDS tornado warning without a strong tornado, that's a while. But there is indeed a weak tornado that was on the ground just now. I don't know if it is still on the ground, though. I mean, this radar presentation looks considerably worse than it did literally just 3 minutes ago. So it looks like that hook, you can see it went a little bit too far north, and it looks like it's cutting off that inflow again, which is great news. So way back here, we first called out this this severe thunderstorm warning right here. I said it looked pretty interesting. Right here, we started to take it quite seriously as it started to develop that hook. It got tornado warned, really started rotating, wrapped up quickly, ended up dropping at least a weak tornado here. Either that tornado strengthened or a new tornado formed and dropped a strong tornado. And you can see that's when our hook got extremely sharper, very sharp. Started seeing a big CC. They upgraded to a PDS tornado warning. Strong tornado still ongoing, started to occlude, likely lifted somewhere in between here. And then maybe a weak tornado spawned quickly, and hopefully it's lifted again. The National Weather Service will conduct surveys here, as they always do. They'll figure out if it was one tornado, started as weak tornado, strengthened into a strong tornado, and then weakened into the tornado that was just intercepted by a storm chaser, or if it was a weak tornado at first, then the weak tornado lifted, dropped a strong tornado lifted, and then another tornado dropped. That's stuff that radar can't tell you, because most of the time with these weaker tornadoes, like the one that was just intercepted from a chaser, radar is not going to pick them up at all. Like, literally, it won't pick them up whatsoever. Unless it is, like, almost over the radar
Tornado
site.
warning for northwestern Sullivan County in southwestern Indiana, Sullivan County in Indiana.
Okay, so this is just unwarned right now. Can we fix that? Can we, like, put a warning on this? I mean, I think it's still capable of producing a tornado. So we are back down to confirmed. I don't know if that's a bug on my end, but currently says it's completely unwarned, so I'm going to refresh it by doing this. Okay, so it is, we still have an observed tornado warning there in Indiana. Still an observed warning there, but currently unwarned in this area. I'm assuming they're going to put a new warning there very soon. Radar indicated or observed. We'll have to see. And that beep you just heard, that new tornado warning, that's for this radar indicated tornado warning into Scott City, into Fairbanks and Riverview, Indiana. I don't think they're going to continue this tornado warning in Marshall. They could. I just doubt they will, because it doesn't look that impressive. And I'm honestly a little bit surprised they continued this tornado warning too, as that area of rotations really died out. So waiting for a tornado warning here. Technically, you are safe to come out of your safe spot because there's not a tornado warning, but I would be highly, highly against it, because we literally just had a tornado on the ground, like not even but 2 to 3 minutes ago. So if you are still in this area, generally in here, I would recommend you stay in your safe spot, even though there's not a tornado warning. And this is probably going to try to recycle again. You could see there's some rain starting to form in here. We'll have to see if this is another hook echo, another area of inflow starting in here, and a hook echo trying to spin out. We'll have to see if that's going to be the case or not here. So we'll have to watch that area very, very closely. Tornado warning, please. I don't know why this isn't tornado warned yet. Again, it was just PDS tornado warned. There it is. That's got to be it.
Tornado warning for
Thank you.
East Central Crawford County in East Central Illinois, Crawford County in Illinois.
Normally what you do is you issue the confirmed tornado warning and then you remove the PDS, not the other way around. So that way it's not unwarned for, like, you know, a minute or two like we just had right there. But there you go. They did end up re-warning that now. So tornado still on the ground. There's your blue box. You still got to be in your safe spot. Still need to be in your safe spot there. Ooh. 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 What are you? 1.25-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Might be north of the front. North of the front. North of the front. This is like on the front right here. This is barely south. This is well south. And this is like on or leaving the front. If it turns due east, it will be riding the front. But if it keeps going northeast into Indianapolis, it is leaving the front. And that front's very important. North of the front, very unfavorable for tornadoes. On the front, extremely favorable for tornadoes. Under the front, below the front, to the south of the main front, still favorable for tornadoes. But the most favorable environment is on that front. On the front and just to the south. Yes, there's been photos of the PDS tornado warning. There was a large stovepipe tornado, I want to say. I see a huge wall cloud, but I don't see a bowl funnel. Big difference between a wall cloud and a bowl funnel. I see that might be a funnel. Let me get a closer view. Yeah, that's just, yeah, it looks like that's just a huge wall cloud right now. I don't see a funnel, so this is no longer on the ground. Although, stay in your safe spot because it is still tornado warned, and I do think this is getting ready to drop a tornado. I do think this is getting ready to drop a tornado. If that hook echo can poke out a little bit more, because you can see our inflow is really starting up right in here. And so your hook is just now beginning right in there again. So I do think we are at a high chance of getting another tornado out of this here over the next 15 minutes. Oh my goodness, when did that get... Okay, new tornado on the ground. Tornado is on the ground here for West York and West Union in East Central Illinois. So make sure you are in your safe spot. That is a new tornado on the ground. So make sure you are in your safe spot. And here comes that tornado warning. Confirmed tornado warning.
North Central Crawford County in East Central Illinois, Southeastern Clark County in East Central Illinois, Clark and Crawford County in Illinois.
Tornado is on the ground with that warning. So can't see it from radar because it's far, but that is on the ground. I'm assuming by chasers. Weather spotters have confirmed a tornado at 4:38 p.m.
Tornado warning
Central.
for southwestern Vigo County in west central Indiana, north central Sullivan County in southwestern Indiana, Sullivan and Vigo County in Indiana.
A little surprised they continued that tornado warning. Little bit surprised with that. But they do believe this is still a tornadic thunderstorm here. Going to the northeast, heading towards Riley in west central Indiana. I saw, let's see, V said something. I'm hearing thunder getting closer. TOG, do you know if any tornadic storms are heading towards me? Uh-oh. What is it going to show? Oh my goodness. Wow, what are you doing in, I ain't gonna lie, I don't even know where this is. I don't even know what country that is. I'm gonna just not even lie to you. I don't even know where that is. Alright, let's try this area. Alright. There is a thunderstorm we are watching to your southwest, yes. The thing is, it is very close to the boundary. So if it keeps going northeast, like if it goes past, it's not like a sharp cutoff, but generally like somewhere in here, if it goes past that, generally, the environment is way less favorable for all hazards up here. So if it goes north of that, you'll still see a chance for damaging winds and small hail and frequent lightning, heavy rain, but the tornado threat will be low. Not zero, but low. If it stays south of that and it goes and rides along that boundary, starts to turn east, all hazard threat increases drastically, including the chance for a tornado, maybe even a strong tornado, if it turns east enough. So I think you will be good. I think this is going to stay to your south. You're roughly up in here. So you're probably going to get some rain. Actually, you probably are getting a little bit of rain now, and you'll probably get a little bit more rain in about 30 minutes or so. You'll likely hear some rumbles of thunder, maybe even see a lightning strike or two. But I think most of the severe hazard is going to stay to your south out of this storm. But I'm going to watch that very closely because, look, that's also trying to get a hook echo. But it doesn't seem like that's a very strong area of rotation yet or anything like that. I don't see a CC drop. So if this turns east, I'm going to be watching it like a hawk for a tornado threat. If it goes to the northeast, I'm not going to be watching it as much for that tornado threat. Huh? Back to radar indicated for this tornado warning into Indiana. We are still out observed for 27 minutes because of this tornado on the ground and the old tornado warning right there. So no longer a tornado on the ground. However, one could develop at any given moment. How long ago was that? Hold on, a lot of trees out here. Huge wall cloud on this thing, roughly a minute and a half ago. Huge wall cloud on this thing. So it is very much capable of dropping a tornado. You think overall tornado-wise we are okay for the night? Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't rule out like a spin-up tornado to your south. But I think you are barely, and I mean like one county to the north to where you don't have to be too concerned about tornadoes. Hopefully, when this thing gets north of that boundary, it just dies out. But even if it doesn't, I mean, if we just track like that most northern warning, like if you were in downtown Danville, it's most of that precipitation is going to avoid you. And there is a second round tonight. However, I don't think that will do anything for central Indiana. The second round we'll have to watch for is going to be in this region and here. That's going to be where we have to watch for the second round. Which so far, it is starting up. We're starting to get a bit more lightning with these storms here. So we'll need to watch those as they get closer to central and east central Illinois. Yeah, this thing should be gearing up to drop another tornado very soon. That looks really good. Not as impressive as when it was producing a strong tornado, but still, that looks very impressive. Apologies, I'm trying to make sure I'm caught up on everything. I don't want to miss something. Sometimes I get so focused into coverage, I end up missing like a secondary threat there. So what I'm doing right now is I'm checking on those storms in just east of St. Louis, Missouri. And I mean, they're in a very favorable environment. Just as favorable as these tornado-warned storms here. What's our surface to 1 kilometer shear looking like? So shear gets considerably worse in central Indiana. Where's that one? I heard a beep. I have heard a beep. Oh my goodness, the smallest disk extension right there. You see that? Smallest disk extension. So if you are near Graysville, you're no longer in that tornado warning. If you were even in that tornado warning in the first place. See, there's just no rotation happening here. So I'm thinking this is lifting probably north of the front now. Oh yeah. Also, we're about to get like the chance for a spin-up tornado out of this right now in West Virginia. So surprised this isn't tornado warned. So if you are in this area, Lindytown, Twilight, Bandytown, in West Virginia, prepare to go to your safe spot. I'm surprised this is not already tornado warned. So 70-mile-an-hour winds, 2-inch hail. So this is a significant severe either way. But I'm honestly surprised that's not already tornado warned. because that is a really good area of rotation. If that was back in Indiana, we would be homed in on that storm. Again, the good news about this storm here, I feel like it's north of the warm front because you could see, like, it looks like it's crazy, right? It looks like it's about to go absolutely insane, but there's just no velocity on it. And I think that's because it's north of the main area for tornadoes. Once you get, to put it in perspective, on the boundary, you're looking at 150 to 200 0 to 1 kilometer SRH.
Tornado warning for southern Sullivan County in southwestern Indiana, northwestern Greene County in southwestern Indiana, Greene, and Sullivan County in Indiana.
And also, yeah, so like north of the boundary, you're looking at like 100. On the boundary, you're looking at like 150 to 200. And then if you get well north of the boundary, like if you live in Indianapolis, for instance, I mean, gracious, you guys only have, you still have 100 0 to 1 kilometer SRH. So it's not horrible, but it's not the most favorable environment. So just keeping an eye on that closely. Right now, the main hazards with this is 60 mile an hour winds, 1.25 inch hail, and we will keep an eye on it for the chance of a weak, brief spin-up tornado over the next 30 minutes or so as it moves to the northeast. But I feel like once it gets closer to Indianapolis, I feel like it's probably not going to be this well-defined for a hook echo. I could be wrong, though, but hopefully that ends up dying. Let me go see this chaser real quick. Yeah, I think that the main threat with that storm heading towards Indianapolis is probably hail. I think the chasers, I think chasers are leaving this stuff for this stuff. I think chasers are leaving this and heading west, southwest. At least the ones I'm watching. Which, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think really the only one that has good tornado potential right now is this one. And let me tell you this. This is a whole heck of a lot better area to chase than this area. I could tell you that for certain. Like 9 out of 10 times, I'd rather chase over here than over here. I mean, shoot. We could have a tornado. Honestly, there's a chance we have a weak tornado forming right now. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if this is on the ground, to be honest with you. There's nothing that says it's on the ground, but it just wouldn't surprise me if there's actually a tornado about to drop or possibly even on the ground southwest of Whitesville, West Virginia. I'm going to make a quick tweet about this one. Southwest of Whitesville, West Virginia. I mean, it's not like crazy rotation, but man, that looks, the presentation of that looks really good. I want to wait just give me a little bit more. I know we do have a confirmed tornado warning now in Indiana. Yeah, see that little spectrum width drop right there? It really would not shock me if that is ongoing. 94% chance of debris. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be shocked if that is actually a West Virginia tornado ongoing right now. It would not shock me. I'm not for sure. I'm not going to call it that, but it just wouldn't surprise me. Oh my goodness. This might be a strong tornado back on the ground. Is there any chasers on this? Because the 3 that I was watching all left. The 3 that I've been watching all left this storm. Yeah, that's probably getting ready to drop if... Oh, no, that is already on the ground. My bad. It's already a tornado on the ground. It's already been confirmed. So, already a strong tornado ongoing. And, oh, my bad. Already a tornado ongoing, and I think this could be a strong tornado. We'll have to see what the next scan shows. So, tornado already ongoing, and I think it could be a strong tornado based on that inflow and that radar presentation. And this is going to head towards Duggar, Linton, Bucktown, Midland, and Jasonville in western Indiana. I'm going to go to Weatherwise. Man, I'm telling you, I really wouldn't be shocked if we got a tornado on the ground in West Virginia. Not too sure why it's not tornado warned, but it is what it is. I'm really concerned for this storm. That's why I keep checking the radar consistently. I really want to see this next scan. Okay, I don't see any big CC drop, thank goodness. So I don't see any noticeable CC drop just yet. Velocity updates in 15 seconds. And again, these north storms don't look impressive to me. I'm surprised this dropped a tornado near West Union. Because it looked like it was dying out to me. And then it dropped a quick tornado. And now all those look like they're dying out. I don't like that one bit, man. Don't like that one bit. Don't like that one bit. Don't like that one bit. Much stronger ZDR presentation, too. All it takes is for that velocity to tighten up a little bit more, and this thing could drop a big one. Fingers crossed that does not happen. Like, this is a really good supercell. And here's the big thing. Remember, we were supposed to have a cell merge with this soon. But guess what? This storm died off. So now, this is just a semi-discrete supercell all by its lonesome. Nearly completely discrete. Honestly, almost a completely discrete supercell. Right here. In a very prime environment, riding a boundary. Or at least very close to the boundary. Checking that storm here back southwest of Indianapolis. And you can see, look at that. That little hook I was talking about to watch just in case. Completely gone now. So I do think this is north enough of the boundary to where it's just going to be isolated damaging winds, maybe some hail, and that's the 2 main hazards. And then, of course, you'll have frequent lightning as well as heavy rain. So now you got a vortex hole here, or a donut hole. I don't see any big CC drops still. That might be it, though, actually. That might be it. Let's see if we can confirm it from ZDR. Oh. I can't confirm that, CC, but that right in here might be... Ooh, ZDR actually does confirm that pretty well. And spectrum width does pretty good as well. Yep. I think that is a tornado in progress, and probably a strong tornado in progress. It's been on the ground. It's been an observed warning for a hot minute now. But I think that it's probably about to get a lot stronger. Still got 2 tornado warnings to the north of that. Let's go back over to Indianapolis's radar site. Still mainly hail here. And then I do want to take a quick look back over in West Virginia again. Still going pretty strong out here, huh? Not as tight as before. I do think we had a really good chance for a tornado to drop down in this area. And we may have seen a quick tornado drop down around Lindytown, West Virginia. Would not shock me at all if we had an unwarned tornado there. And it is still going pretty strong here, trying to ramp back up. Although it will eventually die out here not too long from now, because a lot of rain behind it's going to merge with it and help kill it.
4. Northern Jefferson County in south central Illinois. Jefferson County in Illinois.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That is your dry line popping off now. And you can see also they just completely canceled the tornado watch for a huge chunk of the tornado watch in Kentucky. Huge chunk just got canceled there. All right, let's go. Not as impressed with that new scan, thankfully. Looks like that donut collapsed, so hopefully that is not a strong tornado, but I do know a tornado was on the ground, at least for a moment there. It may still be ongoing, but I never saw any definitive strong tornado signature. But it definitely was on the ground. Love the radar coverage here. Love it. Fantastic. Each one of these are probably going to be capable of all hazards, including each one potentially having the threat to drop a tornado over the next 2 to 3 hours. Now, as for a strong tornado threat with these, there's not really much stopping that from happening. As long as the 0 to 1 kilometer SRH is not bad. And it is actually really good. So, matter of fact, wouldn't rule out a strong tornado with any of these storms that can really maintain themselves as tornadic supercells. And then we'll have to watch further north too, see if any of these can get going. Although if those do get going, the threat for a tornado out of those will be a lot lower than these 3 down in here. This is the area to watch for a few more tornadoes, including a strong tornado being possible in the next 3 or so hours. This area is where we're going to watch for a brief tornado being possible in low-wind severe weather because of your triple point and also storms firing on that dry line. This is an old scan, right? Why does that look good again? Yeah, that's literally probably still on the ground. Yep, still confirmed. That's literally probably still ongoing. I don't know if that ever lifted, because that really still looks pretty dang good to me. Sure, the inflow is very hard to spot right in here, but you still have a huge area of inflow in this area. So I don't know if that tornado never lifted or if it lifted and now it's recycling rapidly and likely on the ground again. All right, there you go. Finally, storm in West Virginia starting to die out now. It's still a little broad area of rotation, but that should dissipate in the next 3 or so scans. So again, I wouldn't be shocked if we did have a tornado here. Let me find the town name again. Yeah, Lindytown. That's where it was. Lindytown, West Virginia. Wouldn't be shocked if we had a quick, unwarned tornado there. In West Virginia. Hard to say what this storm is doing over here. There is a little area up here that looks slightly interesting. But I don't think these storms are tornadic anymore, so fingers crossed those tornado warnings will be allowed to expire and not continued. Oh, dang it. See? Look, they were watching that same area. I was right here. That's why they just extended that tornado warning. Wow, spoke that into existence. My bad, y'all. I apologize. Spoke that straight into existence. I'll name some towns. Yeah.
Tornado warning for East Central Vigo County in West Central Indiana, Northwestern Clay County in West Central Indiana, Clay, and Vigo County in Indiana.
Also going to watch this. This is getting a cell merge here. I don't think that will increase the tornado threat, but this is still very much a very interesting storm, especially for hail and damaging winds. And then again, we're going to watch this as it moves east. New tornado warning. Whole lot of population in that one, man. That's a lot of people. Western Indiana under that new tornado warning. Almost 100,000. Riley, Corey, Center Point, Brazil, Steelyville are the main areas under a tornado warning with that new warning. And that is in West Central Indiana. Oops. Okay, and now that hook is dying again. There's no kidding how many tornadoes this thing's dropped. Because I swear, it's like literally... So dropped one, recycled, probably dropped another. And that other one, either it recycled again to a strong tornado, or the second one it dropped, stayed on the ground and strengthened to a strong tornado. Then it recycled again, dropped another tornado because we saw it from a chaser feed, recycled again, dropped another tornado because we got a confirmed tornado warning as well as a CC drop, recycled again, and it probably just dropped another tornado. So I think this single storm has likely dropped at least 3 tornadoes, but probably 4 or 5. And the more north it goes, the closer it's going to get to that warm front until eventually it gets north of that warm front and is no longer tornadic. Or it simply could just run out of the best environment for wind shear, which is very possible. And another thing, these storms are running out of cape. Our cape has decreased drastically in the last hour. Drastically. I mean, like, we went from 1,200 to 300 to 400 in this area. So these storms should not last much longer at all. They really shouldn't maintain for much more than 30 minutes to an hour. Now, these storms are a different issue. They're in the most prime environment we have now. So that's why we have a tornado warning out here. And that's why a lot of storm chasers have ditched these storms and moved to the southwest for these storms. Welcome to the stream, Legacy. Glad to see you in here. What, like, this is one of the weirdest velocity signatures I've seen in the last 6 months. Like, what is this? Like, you're telling me that this is a hook echo? Like, you're telling me that's a supercell right there? This is a hook? Like, what?
Tornado warning for southeastern Marion County in south central Illinois, Marion County in Illinois.
Oh, that's down there. There you go. I'm like, where? There's your new tornado warning. It's a continuation there for Kell in Illinois. Wouldn't be surprised if this one gets warned. Based off of reflectivity alone, which, you know, really is not a good thing to do, but considering that is a discrete supercell in a prime environment, I would not be shocked if this has a wall cloud too. So we'll need to watch all 3 of these storms. When chasers get there, we'll know more about these 2. We'll know more about these 2 in a little bit when chasers get there. And hopefully when chasers get there, we'll either see, hopefully, elevated thunderstorms and no wall cloud. And if they do see wall clouds, hopefully we can get that relayed to you guys. But right now, the National Weather Service, I believe, is just tornado warning this storm based off of radar. I don't think there's any chasers out here yet. Still gonna watch this storm here. Like I said, I really think it's like north of the front at this point. So the background environment is not that impressive, but it is getting a cell merge, so we do want to watch it just in case. But it looks like on the last few frames that hail core has started to die out, so hopefully we keep seeing that. I want to say almost a bookend vortex ordeal here. No, that is a bookend vortex. Yep, that is indeed a bookend vortex. See how it kind of wraps around? So that is indeed a bookend vortex right in there. And that's why we have this new tornado warning that has recently been issued for Steelyville, Indiana. Are you inside of that, V? It's south of the main area of Danville. It's even south of Clayton. A small, I think, yeah, the southeast quadrant of your county.
Tornado warning for south central Clay County in west central Indiana, southwestern Owen County in west central Indiana, northern Greene County in southwestern Indiana, Clay, Greene, and Owen County in Indiana.
That is a radar indicated tornado warning downstream into Worthington, Bloomfield, Freedom, Jasonville, and Midland in west central Indiana. So if all goes well, in 13 minutes or less, we'll go down to a normal radar indicated tornado warning. When I get those storms, these storms are leaving your area. These are the ones that prompted the tornado warning earlier for you. And by the way, you're still under a tornado warning for the next 28 minutes. These storms are going to head your way. It's hard to say if they will be able to maintain tornadic status all the way up until they get to your area or not. My best guess is they won't. But it's definitely something you're going to want to watch out for. I don't know about the tornado threat. I think we are passing the peak tornado threat, believe it or not. Believe it or not, I think we are about to pass the peak tornado threat here in the next hour. I think after 7, our threat starts to decrease for all hazards. But yeah, Girl Dev, I would be keeping an eye on that for the potential of hail, damaging winds, and a spin-up tornado towards about 8 p.m. I don't know what time zone you're in, actually, so let me tell you both of them. If you're in Eastern, roughly 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. All right, so all went well, and we are back to radar indicated. There is no tornadoes on the ground right now, according to the National Weather Service. That's far from the radar. I doubt that has anything really good, but it's probably, maybe at best, it's an upper level wall cloud. But little supercell action right there in Eastern Kentucky. Nothing too impressive. I'm going to refresh this. There you go. 1 inch hail, 1 inch hail. 0.88. 0.5. Oh, hey. Severe warning this one. Observed 1.75 inch hail. I think Caleb talked about that. New severe thunderstorm warning for 1.75 inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds for the next 42 minutes for Pleasant Mound. And either one of these could go tornadic in the next hour. So we'll stay live at least for another hour here to see what these storms look like. What was that beep for? I heard another beep. Aha. This extension of this tornado warning in Illinois for Woodlawn. Woodlawn, Illinois, no longer under a tornado warning there. The main event has passed you now, yeah, but you are still under the tornado warning. And again, like I said, there is a second round that's likely going to head your way in roughly an hour and a half. But I think the second wave has a lesser chance for tornadoes. The thing is, our wind shear, which is spin in the atmosphere, is increasing. But our instability, which is what storms use to thrive off of and form and intensify, is decreasing as the sun is setting. So we'll have to see if there's little pockets of favorable instability of 500 to 1,000 Cape, or if that Cape is not going to be enough to promote tornado threat beyond 7 p.m. Eastern. All right. My apologies for going quiet there. I got distracted. Yeah, this storm very much electric for a lot of lightning. 60 mile an hour winds, 1 inch hail, very frequent lightning, very heavy rain. That's your main threat. I still wouldn't completely rule out a tornado after this cell merge is done in, say, 30 minutes, but I find it hard to believe that a tornado would form out of this storm as it heads north of the boundary. Also, a little area that has kind of got my interest there. Rockville. I think this is mainly a gusted out storm with 60 mile an hour winds and 0.88 inch hail. But if you can get some of those winds to go up and around, you could get a little area of rotation on the northern side of that. And that's what velocity is hinting towards. It's not picking up on a good area of rotation. It's just hinting towards that possibility that we could see some spin up here. And I don't know if that's going to translate towards the lower level, so I wouldn't be concerned about a tornado out of that in Rockville just yet. It's just something to keep an eye on, something that I'll be watching. Mainly, we're looking at 60 mile an hour winds and 0.88 inch hail out of that, though. I'm not too concerned for a tornado threat on that. This guy is still going pretty strong, man. Still going pretty strong. Looks like a full-blown mature supercell now. Doesn't look like that mini supercell we had before. A huge amount of hail in this. Very heavy rain. Yeah, 1.5 inch hail on that tornado warning. Wouldn't be shocked if it gets up a little bit higher there. 60 mile an hour winds. Also 50, 60 mile an hour winds. Also probably possible out of that. And then yeah, a tornado, of course, also possible. What's that going to be? Discontinued tornado warning up here. So if you are in this area, it's weird because like a little spot, like the Union Hospital is now no longer under a tornado warning here in western Indiana. But if you are south of there, like in Taylorville, you are still under a old tornado warning for 7 more minutes. Go and refresh that again. Every time I loop it, radar doesn't update on its own, so it shows old warnings, and I don't want that to happen. Can't be showing old warnings here. So yeah, this event definitely wasn't as widespread as we thought, but it was still impactful for sure. Not as wide of an area was under the threat as what I anticipated. This area has verified very, very well so far, but really didn't see as much action down here and as much severe thunderstorms as what I was originally thinking. We did get a few severe storms, I think, in this area. But really, southern Indiana, southeastern Illinois, northern Kentucky seriously underperformed from my expectations. There is a little line coming through tonight. We could get a spin-up tornado still down in here. A weak spin-up tornado, 50-mile-an-hour winds, and half-inch hail still possible there late tonight. But I don't think that will be even remotely close to what we're dealing with now back up in Indiana. Tornado watch was extended by 1 county north, so yep, V, you are under a tornado watch now. And that's because of 2 things. That's because this storm is starting to move outside of the originally watched area, and this storm is heading right towards you. But again, these storms should be on a weakening trend over the next couple minutes from here on out. That's not to say we won't still get a gust of 60 or a hailstone of 1 inch to 1.5 inch in diameter, or a brief tornado out of this storm, but I just think the chances for any of those hazards have gone down. Where's that? Always be hearing the beeps, but not seeing what's caused them. There's a severe out in West Virginia for Spencer for 1 inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. All right, I'm going to have to loop it again to see what changed. I don't see anything that changed. Do my tornado watches have beeps? Nope. None. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get plus, aren't I? I think it's about time I upgrade to plus or pro for weather-wise. When should they hit me? I think this one is gonna mainly stay to your south, but like now you're getting a lot of heavy rain. So this storm, which I think will be your main storm, although again, I still think it's going to weaken. I really think that this is going to start dying out. I'd say in... How fast we move in? 30? 35. If I could guess, I'd say near an hour. Roughly 7:30 Eastern. But again, I'm not very confident in that being much of an issue. I just feel like it's going to die out. I think you'll get heavy rain. I think you'll probably get some lightning, maybe some weak winds, and some very small hail. But I don't feel like it's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning or like a tornadic. I'm just not very confident in that continuing for too much longer. I'm surprised it even still is continuing. It's got this tiny little bowing segment in here, and that's what's keeping the severe threat alive in this storm. If that wasn't there and it was just, like rain in here, this would not be severe. So you got that little tiny area there. I mean, if that continues to move exactly where it is, which there's a good chance it will shift a bit north, that's going to go very close to you. Once again, I still think that's going to die out. I think all of this stuff is dying out. We have really the only area I'm watching in this entire area, the only region I'm keeping an eye on, is right here for 60 mile-an-hour winds and a spin-up tornado as it moves east. And this storm is just extremely electric, but I also think that's starting to die out. It is undergoing a merger right now, but again, I think it's on or getting north of the boundary, so I think that's dying out as well. This storm is by far the most impressive out of every storm in Indiana. This one is by far the most impressive. 1.5-inch hail, maybe even locally greater than that, 50, 60 mile-an-hour winds, and a tornado possible out of that storm. This stuff, ooh. This is very far radar site, but we'll keep an eye on that little area there near Alma. And then is this doing like some sort of cell split or something? Almost looks like it. Almost looks like this is moving northeast and this is moving east. We'll see if this cell splits or not. Yep. I just pointed that out, Ethan and Kevin. Thank you both for saying that too. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. They got a special MCD for our Supercell in Southern Illinois. Or Indiana, my bad. Yeah, Southern Indiana, right here. Special MCD. Let's see. All hazards, including a strong tornado, possible with this supercell for 1 or 2 more hours. This supercell has a history of producing tornadoes and is expected to stay severe and continue eastward into central Indiana for at least an hour or 2. So if you're in that dark red MCD, that's where your main threat for the next hour or 2 will be in Indiana. There you go. All right, they got rid of all 3 of those warnings. Or actually, no, 2. They got rid of this warning down here, this warning here. This extended this severe, got rid of this severe. And that's all the warnings that they changed in like the last 5 minutes or so. They may extend this severe, but it's looking like they won't. Kind of like a 50-50 chance there. If they think this is going to continue to try to produce 60 mile-an-hour winds, they may continue that. If not, they'll just let that severe expire in give or take 14 minutes or so. This storm doesn't look as severe, so really only interested in this storm down here in terms of Indiana right now. Payson, Illinois. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Up here? Payson, up here? Along the triple point? I mean, there's no radars even remotely close to that, so if there's a CC drop on that, then gracious day, it'd have to be a strong tornado. Yeah, I don't see anything good. No notable debris detected there from PTDS there. It wouldn't shock me if we had like a funnel cloud or a spin-up tornado out of one of these storms, either in the last 30 minutes or in the next hour or so, as those are on the triple point right near the low pressure. But I don't think if that stuff does produce a tornado, I highly doubt we'll be able to see it from radar. Because it's so far. Like I said, if we are able to see a CC If we are able to see a CC from that far, that means it's a strong tornado because it would already be lofting debris 5,000+ feet up. Okay, now I see what you were talking about. I know who said that. It was, you got that probably from Twitter, right? What radar is he using? KL. Yeah, KL. Wait, is that different? Oh, that's the St. Louis radar that he's using. Because it has a clear beam straight. That would be the better radar to use. So that is the CC in question. I mean, I highly doubt it. It goes up with heights, but I mean, dude, if that is a tornado signature, Payson just got hit by like an intense tornado. There's no way. I highly, highly doubt that that's a real legit signature. Because if that is, like I said, that's lofting debris 13,000 feet up. I find that very difficult to believe. And the fact that the CC stays in one spot too, like look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scans, it stays in generally the same area. I doubt it. Maybe. I hope that it's not though. I really hope that it's not, because if it was, that is a very intense tornado. To be able to loft debris 13,000 feet up. I think 13,000. And the fact that it stays like perfectly in the same area, I don't think so. I really don't think so. In my personal opinion, I don't think so. But we'll have to see if the National Weather Service goes out there, tries to survey anything.
Tornado warning for northeastern Morgan County in central Indiana, Morgan County in Indiana.
That is Indianapolis right there. That is Indianapolis. Let's go see why. Okay, I mean, I see it. This is where the cell merge was happening. So that's what I was wanting to watch out for, although I didn't think it was going to actually happen. That is what we were watching out for. And you can see it is visible on the terminal radar site. You can see a little area of rotation here, very broad, but there is indeed velocity there. So I do see a reason why they issued that tornado warning. Good on them catching that very early. We'll see if it strengthens at all. Like I said, this environment not favorable for much tornadic activity here. It's like I still think it's like on or possibly getting north of that main boundary. It's well north of the boundary. This has 200 cape, 60 0 to 1 SRH, and this is why it's rotating. Almost 300 0 to 3 SRH. That 0 to 3 SRH is carrying big time. So this is in a, quite frankly, horrible environment. But we'll watch it. Make sure you're in your safe spot. That's for Brooklyn. That's just south of just southwest of Indianapolis. Just southwest of Indianapolis. So it does not include Indianapolis or anywhere in the county that Indianapolis is in. We'll lose that tornado warning in 7 minutes. They did continue a severe thunderstorm warning for both of these. One for 60 mile an hour winds, 0.88 inch hail, and this northern one for 0.75 inch hail and 60 mile an hour winds because of that little Boeing segment we still have moving up to the northeast. And then for this one, because of this area of lightning and stronger, potentially stronger to severe storm right in there. And then we still have our tornado warning down here. We'll see if they continue that warning. We don't have any great data there, so it's like a 50-50 shot. We'll see if they do it. We'll see if they don't. 1.5 inch hail for this storm here in south central Illinois. 60 mile an hour winds also with that. And these two don't look healthy anymore. What about that one? Actually, that southern one. Well, take that back. I take that back. They don't look terrible, but they don't look great. They're meh. We'll see if they could do anything as they move into a little less favorable environment. Honestly, the environment they're in now is the most favorable environment they will be in for their entire lifespan. And they'll leave that environment in like 30 minutes or less. And there's a continuation of that tornado warning. So they did opt to continue that for Bloomington, Indiana. Very populated city. Now under a tornado warning. For a radar indicator. Tornado is imminent. Tornado is imminent, as well as 1.5 inch hail possible for the next 35 minutes. That includes Bloomington, Indiana. City of Bloomington, Indiana. Yeah, I did see the MCD.
Tornado warning for western Monroe County in south central Indiana, southeastern Owen County in west central Indiana, northeastern Greene County in southwestern Indiana, Greene, Monroe, and Owen County in Indiana.
All right, there you go. Did they change that tornado watch at all? Oh, they did. Removed it from much of Kentucky. Only 2 counties, I believe, now in Kentucky under that tornado watch. And they extended it by
tornado
3
warning
counties
for
in east central
southern
Indiana.
Fayette County in south central Illinois, Fayette County in Illinois.
Oh, that's that one. Any, many, miny, mo. So new tornado warning out here for this storm. Moving to the east, you'll see that red box in just a second. They've continued a severe thunderstorm warning toward possible tag on the southern one, so they are probably not issuing a tornado warning yet on this storm. They're probably not going to continue that tornado warning yet. So that expires in 3 minutes. That tornado warning expires in 3 minutes. And they continued a possible severe for this. I don't think they're going to issue a tornado warning on that storm just yet unless it re-intensifies. And there's your new tornado warning in south central Illinois. Out of all these 3 storms now, the far northern one is tornado warned here for St. James, St. Peter, that general vicinity in south central Illinois. We'll go back to weather-wise here. Look at the terminal radar. Yeah, not really intensifying there. Not really doing much. No surprise. It's in such a poor environment. They tornado warned it just in case, but it never really looked great. I mean, the hook looked okay. The rotation was barely present, but they warned it just in case there. So we really only have 2 storms we're really watching now. This newest tornado warned storm, and then the storm we've been watching for almost an hour and a half now. I pointed out the Supercell out here, yeah, but like I said, I think this was probably mainly an elevated area of rotation. Maybe it had a quick wall cloud or something, but it never looked really, really concerning. I mean, I think it was a mini weak supercell, but yeah, that main area of rotation might have also been a bit of clear air mixed in. I'd have to go back on a 2-panel to see that. All right, they did something to some tornado warning somewhere. All right, that one's canceled. Tornado warning canceled for this area. No longer a tornado warning. Tornado warning is going to expire in a few seconds in this area, so give it 1 more minute and you'll be good to come out of your safe spot if you are in Worthington. Now, if you're on the east side of this, like Freedom, Farmers, you guys got put into a new tornado warning for 30 additional minutes. And Indianapolis, now under a severe thunderstorm warning. 1-inch hail and 60 mile-an-hour winds there. That's a very populated severe warning. And both of these tornado warnings have expired. So we are down to... give it 1 more minute and we'll be down to 3 tornado warnings. The one up here in central Indiana, the one in Bloomington, Indiana, and the one back out in Illinois. We'll be down to 3 tornado warnings. So we had 7 tornado warnings active at once, I believe. I think that was our peak. Yep. Right at this point, just about 4 minutes ago, we had 7 tornado warnings active. I think that is the most we've had. $30 minutes. You've missed a lot of tornado warnings and a few severe warnings, but none of them have been very notable. I think maybe 30 minutes ago. Yeah, I don't think you missed anything significant, really. I mean, yeah, we did have this tornado warning issued for this cell just southwest of Indianapolis, but I don't think it did anything. And there's an MCD for this storm. I'm not sure if you were gone to where you didn't hear me read that out, but this storm has an MCD. Looks like it just died out a bit there, so we'll see if it tries to recycle or not. Illinois. I say Illinois a lot more. You guys know what state I'm talking about. All right, let's go back over here. Yeah, we did have a tornado from, I'm guessing that was from the PDS storm out here. Like, I don't know, hour ago. Just saw a photo of that tornado. I think it was actually, I think it was southeast of, Annapolis, Illinois. Annapolis, Illinois. Look at the terminal radar again, see if that looks impressive at all. Nope. Nope. No shocker there, really. So 3 tornado warnings. We went from the most to a pretty low amount of tornado warnings. We went from the most we've seen today to pretty low. 3 is definitely not the least because we had 0 tornado warnings for like a little over half the day. So, but 3 is better than 7 because that's where we were 5 minutes ago. And I think this one will be dropped in 12 minutes. And I think this one will stay for a while longer. And this one's a wild card. This one could do anything out here. They could cancel it. They could continue it. They could just let it expire. But we'll just have to see over the next couple minutes. And also going to watch this one in Johnsonville, too. Or Johnsonville, rather. In southeastern Illinois. Well, with that being the almost 2-hour break there, I am going to go take a break for just a little bit. Give me about, I don't know, 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. So whilst these scans come in and see if there's anything new, I will be back in just about 2 minutes to take my first break. And then we'll stay live for probably another hour. And if need be, we'll go a little more than another hour. So I will be right back in 2 or 3 minutes. All right. I don't know how long that was. I'm thinking it was near 2 minutes. Could have taken a little longer, but why? So we're back. They disextended that tornado warning just now out here in South Central Illinois. So no longer in effect for whatever that town name is. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that one. But no longer under a tornado warning for this town in Illinois. Possible tag for that one still in Johnsonville, Illinois. Just going to watch that little area west of Johnsonville, Illinois for the potential of something to develop. Triple Point trying its best to do something, but it doesn't look the best. It looks very, very clustered, very messy. And then this tornado warning out here southwest of Indianapolis doing nothing. So just stay in your safe spot for 8 more minutes. That should be allowed to expire in 8 minutes. I don't see a reason why they'd continue that. And it does look like this storm is trying its hardest to recycle here. They just disextended that as I was looking at it. So 23 minutes on that. And no longer under a tornado warning for Calvertville and Farmers in Indiana. Hard to say how impressive that looks, but right now you can definitely make out a hail core, an inflow notch. And you've got some extra rain behind it from the cell merge, and then a little bit of rain in front of it from a cell merge. Actually, it looks like the rain behind it is from the old hook echo, and the rain in front of it is from the cell merge. So this is from the old hook echo, and this is from the cell merge here. Do we have a radar? This radar here? Nah. We're not going to have a good view of this at all. We'll have an okay view of it in give or take about 30 minutes, 40 minutes when it gets towards Nashville, just east of Bloomington. That'll be closer to 40, 50 minutes when it's due south of the radar. But even then, we'll be scanning through the top of the storm, the north side of the storm, which is where the hail core is. Where did my cursor go? My cursor is invisible. Okay, it's back. What the heck? Yo, that was crazy. Had an invisible cursor for a second. We are getting a new HRRR. Yep, right now, so... I know I'm not supposed to, but I have to, so I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look at it. I'd be very shocked if it shows anything more than some elevated supercells. I think our tornado threat, like I said, after 7, I think literally after 7, our tornado threat's going to be getting really low. We'll still have the storm or 2 to watch, especially this one in Bloomington. That's going to be the main one to watch after 7. But like this storm will be done after 7. That expires at 7 Eastern. All of these are already done tornadic-wise for now. Most of this stuff's not looking too healthy. First wave past you. The second wave is getting close. All this is moving up to the northeast. I'd say still 30 or so minutes away. Roughly 30 minutes or so away. We'll see if you get put inside a severe thunderstorm warning. But as I expected, this has died off significantly. Only 2 lightning bolts there. This has died off very significantly. The only area to watch in that entire severe warning is still that tiny little north side. But even that has died off quite considerably. So all of this stuff has really died out. And this storm over Indianapolis, still maintaining a low and severe storm there. So wait to see what the HRRR says about this stuff, but I really think like we are coming towards the tail end of our tornado threat. So the HRRR does indeed have some a decent updraft going out of these storms, so those will remain a very low hail threat, very low wind threat, and a spin-up tornado possible with the triple point. It has our storms here. It's initiated very well, but it actually initiated the Bloomington storm absolutely atrociously, so it's dead wrong with that. It initiated this storm okay, initiated this storm relatively good. So the only thing I really see that it's initiated horribly is the Bloomington storm, which is arguably the most important storm for it to initiate correctly. Because that's the one that poses our highest threat for all hazards. Very difficult to say what the heck is happening on velocity right there. Very, very difficult. And I don't think we're going to have any chasers chasing this storm, to be honest with you. I'd be very surprised if we do. What? It's observed. Okay. Well, there you go. Plot twist. It's producing a tornado right now. I didn't expect to see that.
Tornado warning for
Do you see that
northwestern
hook?
Clay County in south
Holy
central
crap.
Illinois, southwestern Effingham County in south central Illinois, Clay, and Effingham County in Illinois.
Yeah, that news scan looks scary. No wonder why that is producing a tornado now. That looks a lot better. Well, for a split second, we were down to 2 tornado warnings, both radar indicated. But now we are up to 3 tornado warnings again, and 1 is observed. And they did continue this tornado warning here for St. James. That now includes Edgewood, Mason, Watson, and surrounding areas in south central Illinois radar indicated. We'll come back to that every now and then, but we are going to stay with the Bloomington storm as this is likely, or rather this is now producing a tornado. And I mean, it is on the boundary of our favorable environment. It's right on the edge. It's barely outside the favorable environment for Cape. It's got about 400 Cape, but in terms of wind shear, it's barely inside that favorable wind shear environment. Over 150 0 to 1 kilometer SRH and over 350 0 to 3. Wait, over 150 0 to 1 and over 350 0 to 3 SRH. So not favorable instability wise, but favorable shear wise, and that's why it's produced a tornado, because you got a lot of mid-level shear. Look at that. It's already starting to possibly occlude. But you can make out that supercell again very clearly. Terrible ZDR arcing over here. Horrible ZDR arcing. My word, horrible. But really strong where that hail core is. Yeah, that's probably where we've got. I wouldn't be shocked if this is potentially even a. I want to say possibly even a strong tornado, based off of that velocity and that reflectivity. But the velocity is definitely wrong to some extent. It'd just be nice if I could have a chaser here. Let me go make my rounds through the chasers. Oh yeah, it's dark out here. Dang, so we're actually not going to be able to see it either way. Forgot about that. Yeah, but this is a very dangerous situation for Bloomington. If this keeps up, we are going to get a PDS warning for Bloomington in the next 5 minutes. That's if this signature keeps up. Looks strong from the terminal. Oh, yeah. I can see everything from the terminal. You got to be talking about another terminal. What terminal are you talking about? Because from this one, it looks like absolute trash. You have to be talking about a different one. Gracious. Quite the couplet right there. Definitely. Why does this say radar indicated? Okay, there it goes. See, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes weather-wise will do that to you. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. Woof. That is the by far the strongest area of rotation. And I mean by far. And I mean by far the strongest area of rotation we have seen today. You were at red on NROT, which is really bad. That's a strong to intense area of rotation.
Tornado warning for central Monroe County in south central Indiana, western Brown County in south central Indiana, Brown, and Monroe County in Indiana.
There you go. PDS tornado warning for the city of Bloomington, Indiana. There you go. So if you are in the city of Bloomington, Indiana, there is a strong to intense tornado confirmed heading right into the city. It is currently on the west side of the city. You are now in a life-threatening situation. You need to drop everything and you need to take immediate action to protect your life and property. This is a particularly dangerous situation of an intense tornado is heading into Bloomington. I would almost... This is an intense to potentially a violent tornado heading into Bloomington. Oh my word. That is a very, very intense tornado. My word. Okay, let's go over to weatherwise. So pretty sure that is your CC drop right there. It is over Highland Village now. Over Highland Village, it is barely west of Interstate 69, and it is about to go onto Interstate 69. Are you for real? Oh, okay. Never mind. My bad, my bad. Still a very large CC drop. That is a very, very large CC drop right there. The good news is it's not lofting debris extremely high. The bad news is I think that's actually because it's... Oh, wait, my bad. Let me take that off real quick. Yeah, this actually... Unfortunately, this is hitting homes. Unfortunately, this is hitting homes. Already. I was hoping the good news would be because this is over a forested area, so it's not lofting like trees really high up. I was hoping that would be the good news, but unfortunately it is already over homes. That is awesome news right there. Let's hope that is going to correlate with velocity. It is definitely very, very rain-wrapped. So this is all CC. Typically, when you've got a big CC, it means it's lifted. So actually, this looks to be a stupidly close call for Bloomington, Indiana, but it looks like this has weakened considerably. Unfortunately, to the west side of Bloomington, the damage has already been done. These homes here took a direct hit from an intense tornado across. Let me go ahead and do this. Yeah, this area right here, the area you see in white. This area right in here, that is where we most likely had a intense tornado track through and damage homes in that area. So that would be, go back to weatherwise here. Just go back a frame, 2 frames real quick. All right, so yeah, you're looking at, this is the area you're looking at. South Fieldstone Boulevard, West Bedrock Road, these areas right in here. This would be where it's hit the hardest. And even the Monroe County Airport, too. This is most likely going to recycle, by the way. There's a very high chance that's going to recycle. Man, I was really hoping it would just be over trees. Look how close it was, too. Like, look at that. If it touched down, like, out here, a lot of this is forested area out in here. But instead, it touched down right next to the airport and then went right through this, community, probably at peak intensity, and then started to die out as it went into Bloomington. So thankfully, the city of Bloomington, downtown, is going to be spared here. But the west side, the suburbs there, the west side of Bloomington, unfortunately looks like that was a direct hit for an intense tornado. Wow. Let me go ahead and switch you back to velocity there. Yeah, I would be shocked if this doesn't try to recycle here shortly. Also, downstream, east of Bloomington now, New Unionville, uh, Woodview Hills. Those areas need to be watching out. Specifically, New Unionville, because that's most likely where it's going to be very close to heading to if it does recycle. Which again, I'd be a little surprised if it doesn't. So our old tornado, which is now occluding, is right in here. And you can see our clear salot clearing back out in this area. So most likely we're going to see a new area of rotation try to form on the northern side of that hook echo. Hopefully, though, this whole thing occludes. That would be awesome. If we could just get this, see this pink right in here, if that could just go north and completely cut off the inflow, this would take a lot longer to recycle if it even does. So that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that that pink DBZ goes into the inflow notch and cuts off the inflow feeding this storm. My word. Hopefully everyone in the western side of Bloomington's all right. That is really, really, really unfortunate. But here's some at least a little good news here. That area had a 30-minute heads up. A little less than a 30-minute heads up from the National Weather Service. It is not often we get a heads up like that. That is a really good heads up from the National Weather Service. And then they observed it, so a confirmed tornado before we even saw CC. So it was confirmed on the ground about 8 minutes before it hit western Bloomington. And then, of course, to get a PDS tornado warning, you have to have a strong tornado already ongoing. So that, the PDS tornado warning, they issued it right when they saw the CC. Right when they saw the deep CC drop, they issued that tornado warning. So they issued the PDS as fast as they could. So great warnings from the National Weather Service with this. 30-minute heads up, about an 8-minute heads up from the confirmed tornado warning. And then right when we saw a strong tornado signature on radar, they issued that PDS tornado warning. Yeah, all this looks like fallout now, so I'm very confident that this has lifted. If it's not lifted, it is very, very weak. Very, very weak tornado. But I'm pretty confident it's lifted. I want to see that inflow notch right in here. That's what we want to see disappear. Which looks like it's going to if that hook keeps occluding. So hopefully this doesn't end up recycling. So, hoping everybody heeded the warnings there. Like I said, about a 30-minute heads up from the National Weather Service on that tornado warning there. I really, really hope everyone was able to get to their safe spots. I'm not sure how common storm shelters and basements are in Indiana. But hopefully people were able to at least seek shelter the best they could. And outside of that, current PDS tornado warning, there's really nothing of concern in
Tornado
Indiana.
warning for southwestern Fulton County in west central Illinois, central Schuyler County in west central Illinois, Fulton and Schuyler County in Illinois.
That is with your triple point. So we've got a tornado warning for Rushville, Illinois. Triple point now has verified for that 2% tornado risk, because we indeed do have a tornado warning up here. Hopefully this doesn't end up dropping a tornado. It is heading right towards Rushville. So if you're in Rushville, Illinois, make sure you are running to your safe spot now. And matter of fact, the SPC didn't have a 2% up here, so the risk verified that wasn't even there. But there you go. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have the 2% further to the west. They definitely should have put the 2% more to the northwest. Not sure why they didn't do that. But there you go. Tornado warning outside of the 2% area. We've been talking about that triple point ever since yesterday afternoon. Let me go over here. There you go. So Rushville now under that tornado warning. Pleasant View, Browning, Frederick, Ray. Make sure you're in your safe spot. West Central Illinois. That is West Central Illinois now. We moved from Southeast Illinois to West Central Illinois, an entirely different quadrant of the state. That's your triple point threat popping up there. Still very concerned for this area here. Quickly could recycle. And then these storms look quite horrible, to be honest with you. Mainly elevated hailers right now. Wouldn't rule out a spin-up tornado with them, as well as 60-mile-an-hour winds. All right. I think they downgraded that to observed, no longer PDS. Yes. Observed tornado warning now. Which I don't think it is even still on the ground, to be honest with you. Confirmed tornado by emergency management. If it is still on the ground, it's extremely weak. I'm going to turn this on again. So there's your track for your tornado out of this. And it really, honestly, this is like the only, that's like the only area that had a good enough CC drop to confirm the tornado. This stuff is really all contamination. That shows you, look how much hail contamination we've had from this, y'all. The probability of debris in a lot of this is 80% or greater. That is like almost all of that is hail contamination. Except for at the very end, right over this populated suburb area. That is unfortunately not contamination. 70-mile-an-hour wind gust recorded at the airport there. And that airport likely took very close to, if not did take a direct hit. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's try to figure out my radar software. That's like right where the tornado touched down, probably. Very close to that. I don't know if that's a mesonet, is that? It's the airport reading there. 70-mile-an-hour wind gust. The chance of this recycling again is still possible, but it gets lower every minute. The reason why is the more east it moves, the less cape it has. I want to just acknowledge the amount of cape here. We had between 80 to 100 cape. Between 80 to 100 cape. That is insane. 0 to 1 kilometer SRH, fully carried by shear. 277 0 to 1 kilometer SRH. 532 0 to 3 kilometer SRH. This storm was completely carried by wind shear. I heard a beep. Where was that? Where the heck was it? I'm guessing that was the discontinuation. So Western Bloomington no longer under a tornado warning now. By the way, V, if you are still watching, as expected, it is all sub-severe. So just like I was saying before, heavy rain, maybe a bit of lightning. That's really all you're looking at. Really not a whole lot more than that. When somebody does that, by the way, chat, ignore them. They'll get banned. Ignore them. It's just somebody whose parents hasn't shown them enough love, and so they take it out on random YouTubers. Just completely ignore it. Don't interact with it. Don't say anything about it. Just ban them and go. New tornado? Is it actually on the ground? Oh, it's that one. I looked to the far northern one. So that is a tornado on the ground in Edgewood. I'm assuming observed by chasers probably. Yep, because I know a lot of chasers went towards this storm and towards this area. Oh, and they also radar indicated that warning. So we've got a new tornado trying to develop here, heading just west of Newton, and then a new tornado on the ground over Edgewood in Illinois.
Tornado warning for southwestern Jasper County in southeastern Illinois, north central Clay County in south central Illinois, southeastern Effingham County in south central Illinois, Clay, Effingham, and Jasper County in Illinois.
What's the ones in Illinois doing? Starting to go tornadic again. And that is because they are on a boundary. Again. They are barely on a boundary. I think they are on the warm front. So these are probably going to continue to be an all hazards issue for a while. The big thing is they have less than 500 cape. So they shouldn't continue for a insanely long amount of time, but we just saw that literally 80 to 100 cape produced a PDS tornado warning in south central Indiana for Bloomington. So we'll need to watch this very, very closely in East Central Illinois. But here's the biggest thing. East Central Illinois, where these tornado warnings are, the wind shear is significantly lower than that of in Central Indiana. So it's not like an ultra high shear and low cape event. It's more of like a moderate shear and low cape
tornado warning for
Illinois.
Southwestern Shelby County in central Indiana, Brown County in south central Indiana, southeastern Johnson County in central Indiana, northwestern Bartholomew County in central Indiana, Bartholomew, Brown, Johnson, and Shelby County in Indiana.
I'm trying to see the screenshot. This might actually be a good sized tornado in Edgewood, Indiana, or Illinois. My bad. Edgewood, Illinois. Edgewood, Illinois. Tornado on the ground. Not not on the ground in Indiana. Matter of fact, they are continuing that tornado warning radar indicated. So this is no longer producing a tornado. But this one in Illinois, Edgewood, Illinois, is. But that does include Columbus, Indiana. So we'll see if this cell can recycle. I think this is its last opportunity to, because literally, like, I mean, I don't know. It's in an environment with 100 instability, and it's going to be in 100 instability for a long time, up until southeastern Indiana. So it shouldn't be doing much right now, honestly. 100 Cape. This is what happens when you get 100 Cape right here. This is what 100 Cape looks like, not this. So I don't even know how this thing's even surviving right now. I'll look for that boundary again. I don't think this is latched onto the boundary. Oh, it is latched onto the boundary, yeah. It's latched onto the boundary. North of it, little wind shear when you get north of, like, that storm. And then south of it, it is cram-packed with wind shear. And then over here, right on the boundary, you've got good wind shear and okay Cape. And then in west central Illinois, you have little to no Cape, but a lot of vorticity and some mid-level 3 Cape, which is allowing for this to be tornadic up here. Very interesting multi-scenario event unfolding right now. Very, very interesting. Yeah, so this is probably our main area to watch right now. That is definitely a main region to watch. And then also our previously 2-time PDS warned storm out here. I'm hoping that it just keeps looking like this, though. I really hope that it just keeps looking like a big blob instead of looking like a supercell. This is one of the first times I've seen it to where it doesn't look like a supercell. I can still kind of make out an inflow notch down here, though. Unfortunately, I could still make out a little inflow notch right there. So as long as we keep having that little inflow notch, there's going to be the chance that this could try to produce a tornado. And this area rotation is starting to spin up quite a bit more too. So we'll need to watch that as it moves up to the northeast. So unfortunately today verified. We had multiple severes for 70-mile-an-hour winds, multiple severes and tornado warnings for 1.5 to 1.75 inch hail. And we had multiple tornadoes, including at least 2 strong. So today was a tornado outbreak. But the southern end of this definitely did not verify well at all. Like, this side didn't verify well whatsoever. And really, the rest of our activity tonight is going to be focused to this corridor right in here. We're going to be focused in that small corridor there. The chance for isolated wind gusts, small hail, and a brief tornado up here. And then we could get a spin-up tornado, very low-end wind gust and low-end hail back down in this area late tonight. So there's still a few low-end areas to watch, but the main event has finished. Still confirmed tornado there for Watson, Illinois. Alrighty. 23Z HRRR. Yeah, that has this threat. The threat continues for all hazards up until about 9 o'clock, and then everything dies off after 9. So low end all hazards threat for the next hour and a half. Again, mainly in this area and in the Triple Point area. And late tonight, towards midnight Eastern, 1 a.m. Eastern, we want to keep an eye out over in here for like 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, half-inch hail, and a spin-up tornado. Still gonna watch that. Still a little indent right there over Nashville, Indiana. As for the future, by the way, in terms of what's next after this, we've got the chance for some isolated hail tomorrow across northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, northern Georgia, far southern Tennessee, far southeastern Arkansas, and extreme northeastern Louisiana for tomorrow. Then we've got the chance for 60 mile an hour wind gusts, 1-inch hail, and possibly a brief spin up tornado on Saturday across the southeastern U.S. from central southeastern Mississippi till northern Florida, all the way to the coastline of the Carolinas and southeastern Georgia. But the main story after this is not going to be the little severe threat tomorrow or Saturday, but rather the possibility for one of the biggest snowstorms of the year. The ceiling for it is very high. The floor for it is very low. So, like, we've got the chance to see feet of snow in eastern Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey. But at the same time, we've got the chance for only 1 inch of snow. So, high ceiling event for snowfall starting Sunday morning and lasting till Monday early afternoon. Could be something big for the East Coast. Could be literally absolutely nothing. Which right now the GFS is sold on it being a big event. The Euro is sold on it being next to nothing. And the Canadian is sold on it being next to nothing. So we'll see. We'll see. Does the GFS take a win and we actually do get a big snowstorm in the eastern US Sunday and Monday? Or does the Canadian and Euro win and we get next to nothing? Spoiler alert, honestly, I would side more with the European. So the potential for that snowstorm is like the highest ceiling that we've had all year for the eastern US, but the floor is, like I said, next to nothing. That is a little bit concerning. That is a little bit concerning. We're going to need to watch that for Greenfield in East Central Indiana. Hooks starting up right there. Split Supercell. Going to need to watch that as it moves up to the northeast. And this storm is looking better and better in terms of a lower all hazards threat by the minute. Fingers crossed that continues. We did not see the continuation of a tornado warning up here. We saw the continuation of a severe thunderstorm warning up here for Lewistown. Half of Lewistown in west central Illinois. Tornado warning was not continued there. Oh, my bad, y'all. It is back to radar indicated. I apologize. I don't know when they downgraded that. Hopefully it wasn't long ago. Oh, they just downgraded it. Look at that. Okay, good. My bad. Just got downgraded, though, so I didn't screw up that bad. Girl Dev, I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. I'm glad you can't see that screen. What the heck? College Due page just went crazy. I think you'll be fine, Girl Dev. Probably some rain, maybe a bit of lightning, but I think you're good. Really interested in that little area, but thank goodness we don't have a lot of cape. If that was happening a couple hours ago when we had a lot of cape, it would be a big issue. By the way, the tornado watch expires in 1 hour and 26 minutes. And I don't think we will see a new one. All right, have a great night, Girl Dev. Thank you for watching a lot of the stream. Appreciate it. Stay safe. And yeah, see you in the next live stream. The next live stream on this channel, I don't know when it will be. I hope it will be soon. The reason I say that is because I am going to get extremely busy towards the weekend next week. Which unfortunately was the weekend I plan to release my tornado season forecast. So I'll probably have to delay that by 2 or 3 days. Unfortunately. I really don't want to do it early because, you know, later's better. As long as you ain't releasing that tornado season forecast, you know, as you go into mid-April or May, you're good. Tornado season forecast, you want to get it out in sometime in March. Because by the time you get to early April, tornado season is very well underway. Yeah, I'm not really very concerned for any spots. I mean, I'm watching this area, little concerning. Recycling trying to happen, a little concerning. 2 little couplets here, little concerning. But nothing like to where I think a tornado is ongoing at the moment. So yeah, I'm busy. Weekends I'm going to be busy on, but the weekdays will be a little bit more open. Like literally, I think I am busy every weekend up until like mid-March. And then from mid-March up until early May, most of my weekends won't be as busy. And then into early May, they'll start getting very busy again. I'm telling you, my life has been way hectic. February has been flying by like crazy. Like literally, it's February 20th tomorrow, man. Before you know it, we'll be in June, July, and then hurricane season. Which a long-range forecast for hurricane season says hurricane season's over before it even begins. The thing looks like garbage far out. We'll see what the hurricane season looks like when we get closer, but I could tell you hurricane season probably ain't going to be very impressive this year. Seven minutes for that to expire, 7 minutes for that to expire, 7 minutes for that to expire, 22 minutes for that to expire. So I think we'll wait for these tornado warnings to expire in 7 minutes, and then we'll start to conclude. I mean, we'll need to watch this storm in Columbus for sure, but I really don't think these are going to be doing a whole lot more here. And even if they do, I mean, shoot, at least I was able to live stream for 3 hours and cover 2 PDS tornado warnings. Oh, crap.
Tornado warning for southwestern Jasper County in southeastern Illinois, north central Clay County in south central Illinois, southeastern Effingham County in south central Illinois, Clay, Effingham, and Jasper County in Illinois.
Yep. I just had to say something. Yeah, that goes for a whole hour. Yeah. Yeah, I won't be live for that long. These storms, I think, are going to be elevated. So even now, I think they still pose a relatively low tornado threat. Even though they are tornado warned. So, again, here's the general idea. Here's the general idea. A brief tornado, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds possible. 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail possible. Tornado can't be entirely ruled out on that southern storm, but I doubt it. I doubt we'll see a tornado. Back up here, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, brief tornado possible. And then finally, right in here, same ordeal, 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail, brief tornado possible, 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail, brief tornado possible. So you've got 5 areas to watch for the next hour, hour and a half. For the next hour or two, those are your 5 areas to watch. 5 areas that I'll be keeping an eye on. And all of them are low. All of them are low in threats. So just to give you an idea of where you should be really keeping an eye on those areas. This might need to be a little bit more south on that. Nope, that's good. And so there you go. So we're going to wait for these tornado warnings to expire. We should be down to 2 tornado warnings when we start to end. Which I am perfectly fine if we end on 2 tornado warnings today, as long as they're not observed or PDS. Let's see. Apparently we might have just had a brief tornado. Oh. Okay, yeah. We already knew that one. What? Like, is that in here? I'm confused. I'm confused if that's this storm. KVWX. KVWX. That? Nah. Nah. Apparently, some people think that could be a possible tornado there. Nah, I disagree. Like I said with the last one, I mean, it's not entirely impossible. I just don't agree. All right, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4 severes and 2 tornado warnings is what we'll be left with in 2 minutes. And that is not shabby at all. Also, another thing that I haven't talked much about at all is the winter storm side of this. We've got winter storm warnings in effect out there for Omaha in Nebraska. Pretty good snowstorm happening behind this. Upwards of 9 inches. Upwards of like 7 to 9 inches being the high end possible there in Omaha. Also, maybe even into Des Moines too. Look at this. Let me go ahead and show you guys this. Started with severe weather, might as well end with winter weather, right? This is your total snowfall accumulation. Look at that. 3 to 4 in Des Moines. Probably closer to 7, 8 inches just north of that. Maybe even some spots as high as like 9 inches to a foot here. And then, like I said, Omaha, looking at like 7 to 9 inches there. So, pretty dang good snowstorm. Pretty dang good snowstorm. Additional 2 to 4 inches of snow. And some of you guys have upwards of 5 inches of snow already on the ground in Omaha. So 2 to 4 plus the 5. That's 7 to 9 being the absolute high end in Omaha. Let's see. Where is that? Butlerville. Oh, Indiana. Freaking taking me to like Nova Scotia. Oh yeah, these prefrontals down here. That's clear air, man. That's clear air. That's gotta be. I wouldn't rule out a spin up tornado with one of these though. But the environment is just so low end. So low end. Hey, CC. Thank you for the $20 donation. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Glad to have you in the stream. Glad to have you here. Thank you greatly for that $20 donation. Yeah, it does look a little fishy because it looks a little fishy not only because it looks like it's rotating, but it also looks fishy in the terms of like it's a too small area of rotation. It doesn't look to be positioned in the best spot of the storm. So, yeah, add that to number 6 now. So, let me see if I could go ahead and bring all those circles back. So, in the next hour and a half, those are all the areas I'd be watching for 60 mile-an-hour winds, 1-inch hail, and a spin-up tornado being possible in all 6 of those areas that I've circled in white. If something big happens again in like the next hour or so, I may hop back on here. But I think I've covered the main portion of this event that I've wanted to covered the main event. So just stay hyper weather aware. There's going to be other warnings that come out. As you just heard, they just extended that tornado warning. But we are left with 4 severe warnings and 4 severe warnings and 2 tornado warnings, which I'm pretty comfortable ending on. There's, of course, a few areas to watch, but I'm pretty comfortable ending on that. So I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Hopefully everybody there's a new tornado warning. Well, we'll let that play through.
Tornado warning for northeastern Jasper County in southeastern Illinois. Jasper County in Illinois.
Almost made it. Well, there's 3 tornado warnings now and 4 severes. But if anything looks crazy in the next hour or 2, I may hop back on here. If not, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video that I do, whenever that may be. I appreciate every single one of you guys greatly for tuning in and watching the stream. I really, really appreciate it. You could have chosen the tens of bunch of people that are live right now covering this event and chasing it, but a lot of you guys chose me, so I really appreciate it greatly. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video that I do. I hope what I was going to say before that tornado warning, I hope everybody that was impacted by those tornadoes and these severe storms is all right. Hopefully nothing too horrible happened. Unfortunately, I do think we had quite a horrible event unfold with both of those PDS tornado warnings. I know that first one in Eastern Illinois, we had a lot of damage reports from. And then unfortunately, I'm pretty confident we had quite a bit of damage on the west side of Bloomington in that suburb area. But yeah, that is going to be it from me. Again, really appreciate you guys for tuning in, and appreciate you, CC, again for the $20 donation. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and give it 30 seconds because unlike yesterday, I'm not trying to replay the song halfway through. If you tune into yesterday's live stream, that was the worst I ever timed the outro music before. Instead of it being 3 minutes before I started, 3 minutes till the top of the hour, which is when I like to end, it was actually 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So I had a lot more music to play than I wanted to. But yeah, thank you for watching. Stay safe. Watch the severe weather, and I'll catch you in the next live stream or video that I do. Thank you, Mods, for Mod Chat, and everyone for being here. Goodbye. Stay safe, watch the severe weather and the snowfall, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video that I do. Thank you, Mods, for Mod Chat. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye.